Hello everyone, I am Professor S.R. Patil, Department of Information Science and Engineering, BLD ACET, Vijaypura. So I would like to welcome you all for this data analytics lecture. So in this lecture, I am going to teach you support vector machine in data analytics. So we'll see what is the support vector machine and what are the applications of the support vector machine. Support vector machine is a mathematically rigorous machine learning technique to build a linear binary classifier. So this creates a hyperplane in a high dimensional space that can accurately size a data set into segments according to the desired objective. So what is this hyperplane? Hyperplane that we can see in the further topic. So in that hyperplane, so we have the two-dimensional, high-dimensional space that can accurately slice the data set. So there will be two classes will be there. So those two classes will be divided into segments. Okay, so two different segments according to our desired objective. So that we can see later. So SVM are popular since they are state of the art for many practical problems such as identifying spam emails and other text mining applications. So identifying the spam emails and other text mining applications are some of the applications that can be possible from the support vector machine. So this is brief introduction about support vector machine. Next we'll see SVM model. So what is this SVM model? An SVM is a classifier function in a high dimensional space that defines the decision boundary between two classes. So the two classes we can see with an example. The SVM model is thus conceptually easy to understand. So this sophisticated idea with a simple implementation, support vector machines are a set of supervised learning methods used for classification, regression, and outlier detection. So these are the techniques we have gone through in the previous lecture. Okay, so find a hyperplane in a high dimensional space which can be used for characterizing the decision boundary. So I told what is about hyperplane. Hyperplane, this is like done by the widest street approach. So that we can see widest street approach. The goal of this is to find a hyperplane that has the largest margin. So we can also call it as the largest distance between the two nearest training data points of any class. So what is this largest medium and largest margin and largest distance? So we can see with an example. Okay, just look at this example. So here, this figure shows that there is a thick hard line is there. Okay, so the thick line of color green. Okay, so this is the optimal hyperplane. What is this? This is an optimal hyperplane. Okay, the dotted lines are there. This is one dotted line and this is another dotted line. The dotted lines are called as a gutters on the sides of the two classes. So this is blue line is considered as a one class and this pink boxes are there, no? So these considered as a another class. How many classes are there? There mainly two classes are there, and this line is called as a optimal hyperplane, and here two dotted lines are there. These call it as a gutters. Okay, the gap between the gutter is the maximum or a widest margin. So there is a gap between these two dotted line, right? So this is what we call it as a maximum margin, or we can also call widest margin. Okay, the classifier or a hyperplane is defined by only those points. This is important. Only those points that fall on the gutters on both sides. As I told you, these two dotted lines are called it as the gutters, and the dotted line on this dotted line, whatever the data point that fall, so that is what we call it as a, so those are call it as a classifier. Okay, these classifier are defined by following these data points on the gutters on the both the side. These points are called support vectors. What are the support vectors here? The data points which fall on the two gutters, that is a dotted line. So these points are called it as a support vectors. Okay, shown in the bold shape. This is in the bold shape and these two are in bold shape. Okay, the rest of the data points in their class are irrelevant. So there are 4 data points are there with this class and remaining 3 data points are there with this class. These 4 data points in their class are irrelevant for defining the classifier. Understood this? Okay, so this is how support vector machine visualization looks like. Okay, next, assuming that the data is indeed linearly separable, the classifier hyperplane is defined as a set of points that satisfy the equation. So here you can able to see 3 equations are there. Okay, so where W is the normal vector to the hyperplane, you can call it as a weight. Okay, the value of this equation is -1, this is 0, and this is +1, and the width of the hard margin always will be, that is 2 by W. Okay, so this is the margin we have taken, that is a margin 2 by W. Fine. So here the SVM algorithm finds the weight vector. Okay, it is like try to find the weight vector for the features such that there is a widest margin between the two categories. Why we are supposed to use this equation? This equation is used for to find the margin between the two dotted line. Okay, so computing the SVM using these equations, which reduces sharply the number of data instances to work with, and this approach reduces its memory requirements for computation. So this is possible because of using the kernel method. So this SVM model which uses the kernel model. So what is that kernel model? We can see the kernel model here. We can see the introductory of that, what is kernel trick and kernel parlance. Okay, the heart of a SVM algorithm is a kernel method. Okay, the kernel methods operate, I'm just looking at the introductory part. The kernel methods operate using what is called kernel trick. Kernel method operates on what? Kernel trick. Okay, what is this kernel trick? This trick involves computing and working with the inner products of only the relevant pair of data in the feature space. They do not need to compute all the data in a high dimensional feature space. So kernel trick, it focuses on the fewer data points, not on all data points. Okay, the kernel trick makes the algorithm much less demanding in computational and memory resources. That is the importance of the kernel trick. So here, there are several types of support vector models, including linear model, polynomial model, RBF model, and sigmoid models. Okay, so these models comes under kernel method. So SVMs have evolved to be more flexible and to tolerate some amount of misclassification. Okay, then come to the kernel parlance. What do you mean by kernel parlance? We assign in kernel parlance, we assign high weights to the abnormal situations and very low weight to the normal situations. The normal situations are almost completely forgotten. So this is about the kernel parlance. Okay, so move on to the next concept, that is advantages and disadvantages of the support vector machine. So here we have some of the advantages. So SVM works well when the number of dimensions is very high. It means that effective even if the number of dimensions is greater than the number of samples. So the number of dimensions has to be more to work well with the support vector machine. Then coming to the memory efficient, as it uses a subset of training points in the decision function. Okay, so that is, we can make use of the memory efficiently. Then SVM is a versatile. What do you mean by versatile? Different kernel functions can be specified for the decision functions. So we use the many functions, sigmoid function, some of the functions like I have mentioned, polynomial related functions, so and some few kernel functions. That is why it is a versatile. Conceptually easy to understand. Solving an SVM is simply solving a convex optimization problem. So easy to understand. This is one of the advantage of the SVM. A trained SVM is a set of vectors and much easier to eyeball and understand than the trained neural network. So compared to the trained neural network, the trained SVM is a set of vectors and much easier. Okay, it is much easier compared to the neural network. It works well only with the real numbers. So we can say it is a drawback of the SVM. Okay, it works only with the real numbers. Works only on two values, that is classification functions. So model is not understandable for human being. This is a major drawback of the SVM. So there are some of the disadvantages of what? Support vector machine. Okay, you cannot believe in God until you believe in yourself, which is said by Swami Vivekananda. With this quote, I would like to conclude this lecture. I request all the viewers, those who have not subscribed the channel, please subscribe the channel. Thank you so much for watching this video. Once again, thank you.